שלום רב לצופים ולצופות היקרים שלנו. אני מתכבדת היום לארח את השחקן הנפלא יוליאן פוסטלניקו, והוא שחקן מהעסוקים ביותר שיש היום ברומניה, ולראיה הוא משתתף בשניים מהסרטים שאנחנו מציגים במהדורה הנוכחית, גם בסרט אנשי מעשה, עליו הוא זכה בפרס הגופו, עליו הוא האוסקר הרומני, וגם בסרט חירות, שהוא סרט הפתיחה של הפסטיבל. יוליאן הוא בן 45, הוא היה מועמד מספר פעמים לפרס הגופו, האוסקר הרומני, וזכה בו פעמיים. הוא הופיע כסורין בסדרה המדוברת היום של HBO, ספיי מאסטר, ובנוסף על אחד מהסרטים האחרים שיש לנו במהדורה, לא מזוהה, הוא כתב יחד עם בוגדנה פטרי ב-2020 את התסריט, ושניהם ביחד זוכים עליו בפרס הגדול. בגופו על תסריט, באמתחתו 6 תסריטים שהוא כתב, 5 מהם לטלוויזיה, והאחד שציינתי כרגע, ו35 תפקידים כשחקן. אז עכשיו נפנה אליו, אנחנו נקיים את השיח באנגלית, ואני מקווה שזה יפתח לכם את התיאבון, ולכן לגשת ולראות את הסרטים. Dear Julian, good morning.
Good morning to you.
So I just said to our audience in Hebrew that you are a very busy actor.
Yeah, I am.
You appeared in 2 of our movies in this edition. And on top of that, you wrote the script for another one with Bogdana Petri. So let's make some order here. Talking about you as an actor, when did this passion begin? When did you decide that you become an actor?
Well, it begins in the 10th grade when being in high school, I made contact with a theater group, and it was some sort of festival for high schools, and it was a occasion for me to skip school, so it was very convenient for me back then because my class was in informatics and mathematics, and it was really hard for me. Yeah, and theater was a good option, and I just discovered back then that I really enjoy doing this, and
more than mathematics.
Yeah, a lot more, of course, more than math. Yeah.
Okay, so this is how it started. And what about the passion for writing? When did you discover that you want to express yourself also in writing? You did a lot for television, then the script for cinema.
Well, writing started way earlier. I was writing everything I had in my head since I remember me. Not for showing to others, just for me, just to remember things or things for me, and it developed quite naturally. And in university, I started to write myself some short scripts to play around, to fool around in exams or some sort or things like that. Then after university, I did the same thing also for me. I wrote myself some stuff to play in some independent places, independent theaters. And with luck for me, I just stumbled upon a bunch of colleagues that were in television back then, and they invited me to write for television. And the thing developed like that.
Okay. So let's talk about your role in Men of Deeds. What drew you to this role? How did you find it interesting? You play Ilie. So a bit about the character and what drew you to this very special part.
So first of all, I loved the script when I first read it, and I really wanted to play the part. I was nervous because it was a process. It was a casting. I wasn't sure that I'm gonna be the one would be chosen. And what attracted me was the complexity of the character and the fact that he's very shaky as a human being, very uneven, very is not like a policeman you see in the majority of the movies. It looks like it looks more like a real person, so with flaws, with sensible things inside him, and I really loved that. And yeah, it looks like a human to me, the character on paper. So that attracted me a lot
The fact that
with him.
humanized. And how was working with Paul Negrescu?
It was a treat. He's really a great director and also a great friend, and is really calm. He's really calm. I mean, we had really difficult conditions with logistics, with the weather, because a lot of the film is outside, and he always stayed calm, and I didn't understood back then how is it possible for him to stay like that. And yeah, I learned a lot about from him about production, about working
Being calm.
and, yeah, and being calm.
Being
Yeah,
calm.
yeah,
Yeah. And how
yeah.
did the movie was? How did the audience in Romania received it?
They loved it. They loved it. I mean, it's really flattering for me to.
Was it surprising that it got good vibes in Romania as well?
Well, after we ended shooting, we knew that we had some good stuff there, and after the first screening, private screening, also we knew that we have a good film. But of course, there was some bit of uncertainty about how the audience would receive it. But we knew it's good.
You
Yeah,
felt it.
yeah, we felt it. Yeah.
Okay, so if you try now to talk about the other movie you star in, Liberty,
Hmm.
or Libertate in English, it
Hmm.
is freedom in
Hmm.
Romanian, it is freedom in English, the name. We translated here as well, Cherut. What drew you here to the role that you play? It's a movie that, well, it talks about simple people, but in a very unusual condition. It's a
Yeah.
historical movie because it is based on true events that happened back then in '89 in Sibiu. So, how was it to work on this movie? Unlike this sudden uh, more smaller movie by
Hmm.
its happening in Men of Deeds.
Well, from one point of view, it was harder because being a movie based on real events and on real people, you need to be a bit more responsible with the way you're telling the story of them. So that was the difficult part, the sensible part with it. And it also the script attracted me, the fact that I got to work with Tudor Giurgiu as director, and yeah, and the part that I'm playing in this movie is also quite challenging to understand because, of course, the person I'm playing. He's an ordinary man, but he's also in the army, and he's in this situation very confusing, and he had a lot to lose back then in '89 in Sibiu. It was a matter of life and death for almost everyone, and it's interesting to play. It's for an actor, it's quite I forgot the word in English. E ofertant.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's kind of very intriguing to, I think this is the word you were looking for, and very attractive to play.
Yeah, yeah.
What is your personal memory of back then in '89? Do you remember some of the events that take place in the movie? Can you tell us something about what you felt during when you read the script and had to understand the atmosphere?
Yeah, it's interesting. In '89, I was 11 years old, so I didn't understood much about what was going on around me. I was with my grandparents. Back then, my parents left us, me and my sister, with our grandparents. They were afraid, our parents, and we were watching the TV, and all I can remember is the fact that Ceausescu was bad in our heads. I mean, we saw the images, the transmission, and we understood that Ceausescu, only him, was bad. We didn't understood much more about the regime and
Where did you grow
and
up?
everything. Sorry?
Where did you grow up? In what
So
city?
I'm from southern of Moldova, Vrancea County, and I'm also born eastern in Galați County. There's a village there, and my grandparents were there back then, and near the border with Republica Moldova, with Moldovan Republic. Yeah. And when we shot the movie, it was interesting because seeing all those objects of all those costumes, it brought back memories. It was very nostalgic, you know. Yeah, it's interesting
How,
to. Sorry,
yes,
yeah.
again, how was the feeling actually to shoot it, knowing the situation that you're trying to portray? I mean, did it make you understand better the characters, the decisions that were taken,
Yeah,
the difficulty of people to decide what is right to do at a moment when everything around you is a big chaos and you don't
yeah,
really know what's happening? How was the
yeah.
feeling while shooting it? Did it come to another place within yourself?
Yeah, you're really on point with this. I mean, it really is about confusion and about the uncertainty. In that situation, you really don't know what's happening around you, and every wrong step could be fatal. So I really understand. I think I understood that, putting myself in a hypothetical situation, that everybody could have done the same, being back then in that place. I mean, myself, I think about myself that I'm the same that all of those people. Yeah.
Okay. Now, being an actor and a writer,
Hmm.
what kind of how do you feel about the responsibility that movie creators have in portraying different aspects of history, in telling a story, and the story which is not always the personal one, but maybe a bigger one?
Well, it's a great responsibility, of course, especially because the movies are are seen. It's a lot easier to learn about, to be informed about events from movies than from books. Fewer people read books, and it's easier to reach a broad audience. With the movies, you are responsible for the way you are portraying events and people. The image that people make about history is also through you as a writer, as director, as actors and actresses. And yeah, you are really responsible. You have to take this into consideration.
In this process of creating, either if it's you as a writer or as an actor, what is the point that fascinates you most?
It's human motivation, and why do we act like we do? This is what I'm trying to understand myself, and this is, I think, the core of the way I see storytelling. Why? Why are
Why? This is
we?
the big
Yeah,
question. Okay.
yeah.
Are there any further directors that are on your list that you wish to work with that you can tell us
I
about?
only I only can say all of them.
All of them.
Of course
All of
not.
them.
No, the best the best directors. I want to work with all of them. Yeah, yeah.
Naturally. And can you tell us a word about your next productions that you already finished shooting certain movies that we are maybe going to see next year, but for sure are going to be shown in Romania. Can you tell us a word or two about that?
Yeah, yeah. So Morometi 3 is the third feature of Steregulea about the Morometi saga. It will be released next year. Also, another feature film by Bogdan Mureșanu, Emergency Exit, which is really interesting. Really, I saw first cut for the movie and I really loved it. So these two features in which I play an important part in each of one. Then today, I think we're ending shooting for a TV series that will be launched also next year, and I think it's
Your hands are
it's
full, as
enough.
I said. You're
Yeah,
very busy. We are very happy to see you portray
thank
different
you.
characters in different movies. I want to thank you for this time, and I'm looking forward to seeing the next roles. I'll address our audience back in Hebrew. כפי שראיתם, שחקן מאוד מאוד עסוק, עם נקודת מבט מעניינת. אני מזמינה אתכם להיכנס לדף הפייסבוק של פסטיבל הקולנוע הרומני בישראל 2023, להתעדכן בכל מועדי ההקרנות בשבעת הסינמטקים ברחבי הארץ, ואנחנו נשמח לראות אתכם באולמות. כאן איריס לקנר, האוצרת והמנהלת של פסטיבל הקולנוע הרומני בישראל, ואני יחד עם המכון הרומני לתרבות, שבשיתוף עמו נעשה הפסטיבל וגורמים נוספים שגרמו לכך לקרום אור וגידים, מאוד נשמח לראות אתכם באולמות. אז תודה רבה וצפייה מהנה. Thank you.
Thank you.